because there may be spot monkeys, okay, and yeah, they are, okay. They say that they say that they're not, but come on, everybody. But sometimes being a spot monkey is a good thing, okay. And when you're selling yourself the way that they are, when you're people always say being the elite, all the people involved with that should come to the WWE. Why? Because they're the best version of themselves that they can possibly be, and they know that. So keep doing what you do, and you'll be tag team of the year for many years to come, at least in my book. Because right now WWE has no one. Like I mean, like.
You can't blame the tag teams. It's the same argument with Asuka. It was the same argument with Nakamura.
Like, they're entertaining enough, but it's the WWE style that makes tag team wrestling hard to get into. Like the matches themselves, always great, from what I saw, but with the comedy and all that stuff and all the shit they've been trying to do to spruce it up, no.
To be fair, if they didn't get injured, my tag team would have easily been the Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah.
If Rowan didn't get injured,
still would have been the Young Bucks for me.
Isn't Harper injured as well?
Now, yeah. I think they're waiting because I think they're going to do something with Wyatt again.
I sincerely hope so. But in the meantime, speaking of, we've got our next category, which is Feud of the Year. I'll tell you what, I had a lot of trouble with this one, so I just went with one of the ones that amused me the most, and that was Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt. That's all I got.
Okay. Brian?
I just loved seeing that same style come back with just the way it came. It came together in a moment that just said not only was it entertaining, but it was also the kind of moment that said, you know what, WWE can put their egos aside and put their resources and focus into doing something that's just plain damn cool. So, yeah, I enjoyed this.
And I will say my feud of the year is the feud that actually put the man over the top. And the feud of the year is easily, for me, Becky Lynch versus Charlotte.
You know what?
Easily.
I'm switching to that, yeah.
Because easily.
Actually, no. I'm going to put, I'm going to put the man versus Ronnie. Do Twitter beefs count? They should.
They should.
That's one of the,
no,
she'll have it to an art form.
They have been putting more emphasis on that, yeah.
Legitimately, okay. She was getting good crowd reactions before SummerSlam. She was getting the best crowd reactions of the women, no doubt. But what put her over the top is when she just completely flipped shit at SummerSlam and just took out Charlotte after Charlotte stole a win for to become champion. And then the next, just all throughout till the end of the year, you had that thing for a little bit going up to Survivor Series where it's like, I know that you're the only one who has a shot to take out Ronda Rousey in my place. So I'm going to give you the match. But when I come back,
I'll give you
we're going right back to what we were doing.
And I'll give you a concussion hug. I like that little Twitter that she's like, I don't know what I was thinking at that, giving her a hug.
This was the antithesis of Sasha Banks versus Charlotte. This, because they were trying so hard a couple years ago to make that the feud of the year. They were trying so hard. That was going to be the feud to put the women on the map for the WWE. No. This is the feud that finally did it. That finally put the women on the map for the WWE and made people stand up and take notice.
I think maybe if Sasha and Charlotte weren't hot potatoing the title so much, I guess it could have been that.
It could have been, but none of them had the momentum
that Becky's got.
And back then, as much as people said they wanted to see it, they didn't want to see it yet. They didn't want to see it with those two. As much as the WWE wanted it to be with those two, they didn't. The crowd was behind Becky Lynch even then, and so there's no doubt in my mind that the feud of the year easily Becky Lynch and Charlotte.
Who do you got?
I'm going down NXT level. I'm picking Ciampa versus Gargano.
Yeah, you got.
I just love their dynamic. Because they know each other so well. They have great chemistry in the ring, and it was just a great story that they told. It's like it was basically the perfect tag team, one turning on another, and the other one trying to get revenge story. Mm-hmm. It was a very traditional storytelling feud, but it also had the what's the word? Like it felt today. It definitely worked in today's standards. I don't know. And now that with Gargano being turning heel and their hit possible DIY reunion, it's going to be a very interesting 2019 when it comes to NXT.
Yeah, I definitely can't argue with that.
And we had some very interesting heel turns this year. Just saying. That's it.
There are a lot of heel turns
and
this
I'll
year.
give you one in my pick for worst feud of the year.
Isn't it Brian's for that one?
Yes, and I'm just using that as a segue.
Were you really?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
This was actually...
We got a lot of categories to go through here. We got to keep it moving.
This was actually spoken about earlier in someone else's... Scholly Tarek actually talked about this one earlier. And as I was thinking about what he said, I was like, yeah, that feud was really pretty shitty. And it made this person look like a complete moron, an asshole. Yeah, I'm Carmella versus Asuka. Come on. That's it. Seriously.
Okay.
It goes... Asuka is dominant for 4 years. Okay.
You're welcome.
Yeah, she gets beat by Charlotte, which sucks. Which really sucks. But okay, I can understand that. WrestleMania big match feel. I don't like it, but I understand it. Okay, you cannot get me to understand how all of a sudden she lost to Charlotte and now she's the biggest moron on the face of the earth. Gets taken out by James Ellsworth. Twice. Twice. Okay. And I'm okay with Carmella in the spot that she's in now. Okay? Like is a strong word. That's it. I'm okay with the spot she's in now with R-Truth. But those months when she was the champion, okay, I think that Tarek's gonna get on his soapbox about that soon. But I'll keep it simple here, okay? There were plenty of contenders for worst feud of the year, but this was the feud that just made me angry whenever it was on TV.
Tarek, where are you going to take us?
As much as
I think I just talked him into it.
Honestly, as much as I hated that feud, No, I don't think I'm going to be talked into changing any of my selections. But that one came close because I just kept thinking about how angry that feud got me. Well, it wasn't even just the feud; it was just Carmella as champion.
The matches were pretty shit too, and
because it wasn't just Asuka that she was beating, because it was Charlotte as well. So that would just be my, like, if we had a really hated superstar of the year, I think Carmella would have taken that spot for me. But when it came to feud of the year, worst feud of the year, excuse me, I looked at the feud that was building up so much that people actually did want it when they actually hinted at it, and then they just were thinking, no, let's just throw them into Dr. Shelby. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Sasha Banks versus Bayley, because that had so much promise. It had so much build for the first half of the year. And then you throw them in, when you actually get that sprinkle of Bayley pretty much pulling a Becky Lynch and snapping and getting the crowd going, finally, we're actually going to see a Bayley-Sasha Banks feud on the main roster, something similar to what we got in NXT. No, let's just throw them into a comedy bit with Dr. Shelby and then make them best friends again. That somewhat hinted at some possible love thing, but
at least
that they also kind of dropped.
At least with Kane and Daniel Bryan and Dr. Shelby, that took place over a couple months.
Yeah,
okay, this was one show,
and then they replaced him with another psychiatrist, and it was okay,
it didn't work.
It didn't work, and then they just dropped that altogether, and then it's Kurt Angle ruined that feud. He really did, and for something that we could have had. Honestly, in my opinion, it could have been Becky Lynch Charlotte level. Maybe not to the full potential, but damn well close to it. Especially with how organic that crowd got when Bayley snapped. So, yeah, I'm going with Sasha and Bayley. But Carmella and Asuka really was close on that one. I will give you that.
Yeah, there's a lot of different, depending on how you look at it, there's a lot of different ways you could go with this. But for this one, the most disappointing one for me was Sami Zayn versus Bobby Lashley. Just the way it was handled.
His sisters, man!
Does he even have...
Does
he really have
Bobby
sisters?
Lashley, just right out of the gate, was handled so poorly, and it bled over to everything he touched for the vast majority of the year. Until he got paired with Leo Rush, he was just stinking up the room everywhere it went.
Sure, and now he's just showing off his glutes.
Hey, it's better than what he was doing here. I'd rather look at his glutes every single day
than hear him talk about his sisters
and look like a toothless wimp. So, yeah, I'm going Sami Zayn versus Bobby Lashley for worst feud of the year.
Again, it makes me ask if he even has sisters at all.
I don't even care. What I do care about are the picks for match of the year. So, champ?
Oh, me? Okay.
Yes.
Well, this one's going outside WWE for this one. I even actually rewatched the highlights because I can't find the full match anywhere, and that's going to be Kenny Omega versus Okada. The no time limit, 2 out of 3 falls at Dominion 6.9. I think Dave Meltzer's 7-star rating is more than enough to really talk about how awesome this match was. Yeah. And like I said, I actually rewatched it because I just wanted to get more refreshed on it. Well, the highlights at least. And my God, that really was such a hard-hitting match. It was just so much fun watching. I actually rewatched it. I watched it the highlights twice just because I was just so into it. And Kenny Omega is a superstar. I love Kenny Omega.
I can't argue with that in the slightest. Originally, I was looking strictly to WWE for that. For this, if we were looking strictly at WWE, I would have said Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar, just for a myriad of other reasons. But ultimately, yeah, I gotta go with the Omega Okada match, the one that finally saw him crowned
the
the champion.
IGWP.